Good morning. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Everybody, welcome back to the stream. Sorry we haven't been on the past couple days. You know, we're busy, we're moving, holidays, etc. You guys know the jam. Weird Thinkorswim's not loading some of our charts. That's not fun. That's all right. So yeah, when one beautiful soul actually comes in here, then we'll actually start looking at some things, but no point in speaking to myself for the moment. That's there. I guess that works. Good morning, good morning. No one. Right on, brothers. Yeah, we're just gonna probably end up watching the market. Maybe go up to the 50 SMA today. Let's see where that's at. So 50 SMA is right there. Probably put maybe enter that babel. There we go. Something like that. My apologies. We're not muted anymore. Appreciate that, Paul. Thank you. But yeah, so I don't remember what day I was on last. I don't know if it was that last week or was it Monday? Well, what's today? What is today? Today Thursday or Tuesday? Wait, I'm tripping. Today's Friday? Oh my gosh. All right. Yeah, I don't know where I've been the last week, but clearly not here. But anyways, again, I don't really remember the day. It was either... Was it the gap down day? I don't know. It was either this day or it was this day when I was last on. I really don't remember either it was that day or that day was the last day I was streaming. But either way, that day, whatever day that was, the recommendation here on the stream was that the market is not bullish. You've actually entered a neutral to bearish market. So we'll just go with basically where I'm circling is when the stream here said to be neutral or bearish, but not long bias. And a couple days later, whack, your market gets smoked. All right. So essentially nothing has changed in the market from the day that I was last on as it relates to the system. The system is still a neutral to bearish market as it was the last day I was streaming. The only things that have changed is the price action in which is being presented to your eyeballs. When we were last on, the market was kind of being like sideways-ish garbage, and then now it's had a leg down. All said and done, the text is on the screen. The market is bearish below that red line, and it's bullish above. So the market structure is still the exact same as it was a couple days ago as it relates to the system. We're neutral to bearish. We're not long bias market right now. When the market enters a long, I'll tell you, the system will tell you, and then we can go back long. I haven't actually looked at the volatility markets today, but based off of the way the market is moving, I would assume that the volatility markets are actually trend positive, but they have a mega gap down today. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. So, like right now, the best case scenario long for the market would be back to the 50 SMA, right? Because that's just the rules, but we're still in a neutral to bearish market. So basically for me, I'm just going to remain on the neutral to bearish side because that's just what the system says to do. If in the event the market tries to go back to the 50 SMA, then you're just going to see the market go to where I pointed the arrow to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. It's just going to happen, okay? So, the more you watch this, the more you will kind of see why it is that I speak the way I do about the market. When I say it will do this, it's going to do that, etc. Because again, it's once you watch it repeat so many times, you realize there's only so many things the market can actually do. So basically the story always is when the market right now, we'll just put 50 SMA here, right? When the market is below the 50 SMA, it's in a neutral to bearish market. If it's above, it's in a bullish market. So the only way to go from a bearish to a bullish market is to go from the bearish side to the bullish side. Hence, if the downtrends do not continue, then the market ends up reversing. Where does it go to? The 50 SMA every single time before transitioning structure up. It's guaranteed. So that's why whenever I'm on the stream with you guys and I'm going through the market, and if the market is in a neutral to bearish state, you'll always end up seeing me do something like today where I'm like, yeah, we could see maybe a move back to here. That will be our best case long, right? Because you always have to prepare for if the trend does end up changing, right? Instead of the market remaining bearish, right? Remember a couple days ago here, we said market's bearish, neutral bearish, and then wham, all the way down. You wake up this morning, there's a mega gap up, right? For one, we normally don't look to long the markets on these mega gap ups in downtrend, but that's another day. So it's just the point being is whenever the market's neutral to bearish, right? it can either just keep being bearish or it would have to change, right, and go bullish. And if it does, the target's always going to be back to that 50 SMA first. So you always are kind of prepping and planning for the eventual guaranteed day that the market isn't going to be going down, because markets don't stay in downtrends for forever. So basically, in the event we're going to reverse into an uptrend, at some point, the market will guaranteed 100% every single time go back to the 50 SMA first before transitioning truly to a structured bullish market. All right. So that's that. So whenever it's in a downtrend, we always look and say, where's the 50 SMA? Just so I know exactly where the market's going to go in the event we don't remain in the downtrend. All right. So where the green line is pointed to is exactly where we know the market would go to if for whatever reason the market's like, yeah, don't want to stay into a downtrend, we're going to rally out, we're going to go up, whatever, right? So you already know where it's going to go, all right? That's done. Ooh, I didn't want to delete all that. There's a lot of drawings in there. Let's do this. Sure. So yeah, the main narrative right now for the morning is that the market is in a neutral to bearish state. There's no real reason to be long bias the market for swing longs. Obviously, for short-term trading, bounces and stuff like that, you can do whatever you want. I'm just talking in relationship to the system for the time being, or for this moment, if you will. So that's that. I did not look at like literally any penny stocks this morning. Speaking of, we are getting into January, so you'd think that the penny stock market might be trying to heat up a little bit now. So actually, I'm just going to take a second and look through some of the stuff we got moving today. Is any of it good? So far, everything looks like garbage. That one's actually moved okay, but it's been a slow grind runner. Garbage, that kind of good. Yeah, let's see. Seriously, all these stocks just look like just straight boaty. So the good news is that you guys know what's going on with the market. You shouldn't have any questions there, I guess. Yeah, actually, other thing too is we're probably already did it. I'm gonna say we're probably doing the 30-minute volume weighted average price pullback, which would be it probably already happened, honestly. Let's see. Yep, already happened. So I was gonna say we're probably looking to pull the market back to the volume weighted average price of the pre-market trading today, but we've already done that. See, it's already happened, so that's kind of no longer a part. Not truly, but that's no longer like a go-to strategy this morning because we've already completed it. So now it just becomes a kind of a transition point. So that one's done. Could say we're gonna do the pre-market high one, but let's see. Yeah, it'll be goofy. Interesting. So basically, like, kind of the way that I would read this is like, A, market's neutral to bearish. B, we're right on the pre-market 30-minute volume weighted average price kind of support trend. The only way we go up to the 50 SMA, which I should probably put that on the chart right there. It's 50 SMA. This is all on TradingView. Only way you're going to get there is if you squeeze out the short sellers from the pre-market session, which can only happen over the price of 686.22. Yeah, so if that made a bunch of sense to you, pretty much this means we're in a neutral to bear state. I even have like a tiny bit short on SQQ currently. Just in the idea that the continuation of that the downtrend will kind of continue for the moment, and we're not quite ready to rally out. But when the market shifts to a swing long market, I will put some back on long. There's just no point to doing it right now. So currently have a small short on the market. What else? gold, silver, Bitcoin, obviously, you guys know we talked about this weeks back and weeks back, and pretty much said it could get up into 70s, maybe 80s, whatever. But actually, let me bring it up on a different chart. Let's do, we're going to do this one here. So we'll go into this guy, and we'll take this to SLB. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. All right, so pretty much anyone who takes 2.5 seconds to watch our stream and, you know, listen to some of the things we talk about, you guys will know we talked about silver and gold many times, but ultimately what we talked about was, you know, it would be nice to see silver hit 70. It would be nice to see silver hit 80. It would be nice to see silver hit 90, blah, blah, blah. But as we trade up into +2, +3 to +4, the market is becoming overbought, a little bit more euphoric. So as we take silver and, well, not necessarily gold, because gold isn't, silver is moving ahead of, the volatility on silver is more elevated than gold right now, so we're not seeing gold reach as high as standard deviation levels. Anyways, basically, we talked about silver going up into here, and as it does, you can expect you're going to see some pullbacks and stuff like that, and I'll be selling silver as we kind of run it up into the +3s, +2s, etc. So I sold some more gold, more silver as we've ran the silver market up into some of these upper distributions. Is it going to be the be all end all top? Maybe, maybe not. If it is, great. If it isn't, great. I still own gold and silver, so I'm just taking a bunch of the gains I made over the last year. Well, not last year, but many years, if you will, and just locking it in. You know, I mean, you got Wall Street Bets talking about this stuff. You got, you know, a bunch of the popular YouTube streams talking about it. A bunch of people on the internet talking about it. News stations, articles. It's time. A lot of euphoria there, so I'm just going to do my best to not get caught up in any of that and just stick to my strategy and stuff and standard deviation. So we just know that it's getting overbought. You can see it. This is the cycle, right? The cycle of, you know, retail traders going, oh my God, look at silver, it's going crazy. Like, yeah, you're probably about to get cooked too, kid. So, so yeah, just gonna take some money while it's hot. And if it goes higher, fantastic. I still own some. If it ends up topping out here, then I've locked in a boatload of money for the trade, right as everyone's getting all happy about it. So I think that would be perfect psychological timing. So yeah, that's the whole analysis on silver, which is that, again, we've entered a euphoric market on silver. It's gone up quite a bit. We're getting into some overbought standard deviation levels, yada, yada, yada. I got a small short on the market because we're in a neutral to bearish market. We're not swing long the market. We may go back swing long the market when it makes sense to go back swing long the market. Donald Trump is still the president. It's snowing outside here in Michigan. I'm still moving out of this house. I have a warm cup of coffee. I mean, I think everything is going as planned. Everything is going as planned, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. So that's that. Wish there was more to say, but I guess there's not. We'll talk on Bitcoin real quick. We haven't done that. Yeah, so Bitcoin, our long target for Bitcoin right now is $99,693 to $103, or $103. Wouldn't that be something? So basically, we'll just call it $100,000 to $103,000 is currently our long target for Bitcoin. All right. There's other targets in there that I could talk about and that I know are going to hit, but the reality is oh man, the reality is we're just looking for Bitcoin to go to about 100 to 104,000. or sorry, 100 to 103,000. And if you remember, I think it was last week or maybe the week before that, the target was like 104,000. So you can see over a week's time, we've decreased our price target by about $1,000. So the targets will continue to change. What today is 99,000. The low side of our target's 99,693. That target will probably be 99,000 by the end of the week. You know what I mean? Going into the next week, it might be 98,000. Just depends. So, yeah. And I don't know what's going on with this chart up here, our combination ticker chart, but none of it's working. So I'm just going to assume that that's not going to be working today. So that's cool. Yeah. So, what else? I don't know. Happy New Year, Crypto P. Crypto P. Yeah, Happy New Year to you guys. Hopefully, you get some good health this year. Hopefully, your finances go up. I have a feeling that's probably not going to be the case for a lot of people, but hopefully for you guys it is. Hopefully for me it is, but that's probably not going to be the case. I can already foresee some upcoming expenses that theoretically are going to make it so my income don't go up. But anyways, Happy New Year to you guys. Hopefully just some good health, some good money, some good foods. I don't know, man. There's not a whole lot else you can hope for. Maybe some health for your friends, your family, I don't know. Maybe the market to go booming, but I think the market's going to go pooping. So yeah, we are into 2026. I kind of thought we'd have a more lackluster, maybe even a bearish market in 2026. We'll see how correct that is. We've been calling that one for like 2 years now or so, maybe. We'll see. I don't know. I mean, for the sake of my account, I hope I'm right, but for the sake of the world, I hope I'm wrong. It's kind of a weird thing, investing. But surely today is going to be the day. And if it's not today, it'll probably be 3 years from now, you know? We got 2 minutes, 50 seconds. Man, I really wonder why. Don't know why they're not loading all these other charts here. It's just weird. Hopefully that changes at the open, but I am skeptical. Very skeptical. Yeah, I was gonna say if we start to get over and or above some of the top-down volume-weighted average price stuff from the pre-market. At that point, we might be a little bit more likely to kind of press the market back towards the 50 SMA, but again, hasn't happened. We got to wait for that to kind of take place. In the meantime, I'm going to kind of peek around at some of these random penny stocks, see if we can't find something that's halfway decent. There's got to be at least one trader today I could put a trade on and maybe make $1.50. I mean, the reality is again, I don't really wake up and try hard enough right now. A lot of these things move pretty early in the morning. Alright, looks like they finally opened or started allowing us to see the market internals. It is so weird. I don't know what's the deal, why they're like that, but so we started with kind of a big green candle. Some of the Magnificent Seven players, which is obviously popping the NASDAQ, excuse me, or squeezing it up, if you will, for the moment. S&P 500 is basically just chopping in between our said, support resistance areas. Nothing crazy there. You guys already know that if we want to reverse the market up, 50 SMA is arguably going to be the long target for today. And let's take a look. We may even do a 161 move. Let's see. Yeah, so right now, if the market does go for the gap and go, gap pullback and go, the 161 target on the SPX is pretty much lined up with the 50 SMA. So that would be, again, the target there on the long side with like some success today. Again, I'm not a huge fan of trying to go up to the 50 SMA quite yet. The setup just looks a little goofy. Oh, and then not to mention our 10 SMA is down at 6,086 something 3. Let me go to the SPY. That's going to be our pullback target too. So basically we'll be looking to take the SPY SPY down to here, about 684.53. Assuming we're not going to the 50 SMA today, we should reverse the market back down to the 10 SMA here. So if I go and put us back on an extended trading hours, then say we'll even do like a 1 minute, right? So that's going to be the target right there. I'll put like maybe a little bullseye on it or something. Where's the bullseye? I don't have one anymore. That's lame. Where'd it go? There it is. So that would basically be the target to the downside for the moment. All right, that's pretty much your target getting hit there for the downside as it relates to the 10 SMA. Guys, and that's the other thing too. When we talk about targets too, like, did the first thing, like when I woke up today, did I say the first thing was, oh, we're gonna take the target to the 10 SMA? No, we just said the market's in a neutral to bear state, all right? So knowing that it's in a neutral to bearish state, the mind goes, it could be a long if we do this, right? But if we don't, then it continues down. Where does it continue down to? You start looking at the most normal, logical things that the market would normally go to. And in this case, I could see it would be the 10 SMA. So that's why I put that bullseye there. And here you go, down. Whee! So the short on SQQ is working. So that's good. I actually took a little bit of, sold some there on that drop. Or bought it back, however you want to say it. But anyway, so that's nice. Just another morning predicting the largest globally traded ETF in the world. Not bad, not bad. So that's that. Yeah. Yeah, this wouldn't be a bad idea to take a VWAP, throw it on the high here too, because that's a pretty good move down, so we'll be able to use the 1 minute top down volume weighted average price, probably pretty decent today. Actually, let me take a look at some other stuff. Yeah, we still got some room down there for that guy. Still below sell signal VWAPs. Definitely just knows that. Yep. It's nice. This guy. Let me take us all the way back to that here, arguably. And so we snap that. That'd be the back test. Wow, extremely busy day here in today's YouTube stream. Oh, so busy, I don't know what to do with myself. There's so many questions, there's so much chatting, so many beginners asking questions. I mean, I just could never possibly keep up with the demand here. Um, I mean, yeah, I mean, like long-term analysis. I guess I haven't like looked too hard into it in too long, but yeah, I mean, the only long-term analysis I can really do is all technical analysis anyway, so it's really just gonna be looking at a chart, looking at some standard deviation stuff, looking at some trend stuff, all pretty basic at the end of the day. Well, at least to me, I guess it is. But yeah, I'd have to do a kind of a deeper dive on it. Wouldn't really take that long at the end of the day. But yeah, I mean, pretty much with any sort of, I mean, any bear market that the market goes into, I have never seen a stock market bear market trade and exist below -3, -4 standard deviation ever. So pretty much the name of the game for me, and has been for the longest time, is if the markets go into corrections or if they go into a bear market, we just pretty much buy the dip when it gets down to -3, -4 areas and just close our eyes. And as long as the United States economy doesn't go completely bankrupt, we'll make a bunch of money. If it does go bankrupt, then the market will continue going lower. So it's pretty, at the end of the day, I'd say it's pretty simple. If we go into a bear market, daily is going to go down, weekly is going to go down. So if there's a real bear market or correction, then S&P 500 is going to have to get below its weekly 50 SMA. There's never been a bear market in history without, it's even been like relatively decent without the market going below the 50 SMA. So basically, we can just assume if the analysis is correct, what's going to happen is the market's going to go into a 30-minute sell signal. So the short term will start a sell signal, right? And in the short term, just like now, markets will go down, and they'll keep doing that until it breaks down the daily. Then it breaks down the weekly. Once it's below the weekly, then the weekly long-term algorithms are going to go into sell mode. Then they'll sell it down, and then from there, hopefully the price of the market decreases all the way down to -3, -4 standard deviation. At that point, it becomes a very low risk, high probability trade and buying zone. So we'll be in a sell signal at that point, but we'll just start buying into the low of the market, even though we know it's in a sell signal, hasn't transitioned structure up. And then once that happens, you're going to have to wait for the 30-minute to turn positive. If it does, market makers are going to structure the market up. If we can cross the 1 hour, institutions will start trending it up. And then we recover daily, weekly, and blah, 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 blah. So as far as the long term, but then again, if we do have a bear, I was kind of thinking we might see like a stretch of like 4 or 5 years of just like not the greatest returns of the stock market. So I'm kind of hoping that's wrong, but if it's right, then boy oh boy is it gonna suck. And that's why I've kind of started moving some money into more of the emerging markets, foreign markets outside the United States. I think the returns are going to be better there over the next decade than it will be in the United States. So yeah. Oh, speaking of, damn it, I was supposed to buy some today too. Go do that. Yeah, I mean, I probably didn't really answer your question. I'm just kind of going through the scenario. I mean, that's exactly how it would unfold. Like, I know it sounds silly to say that, but I mean, it's true. That's literally how it would unfold. If we're to go into a bear market, the first thing that's going to happen is we have to go into a short-term bear market, like short-term signal, just like this past week, right? How we said, hey guys, market structure's down, we're in a neutral to bearish market, and then the market goes down, same thing, right? Any bear market's going to have to start with that 30-minute transition going negative, right? And then from there, those short-term market maker structures that go to bearish have to remain or be bearish enough to then take the long terms and flip them negative. Then once that happens, the market would have more strength, if you will, in a longer term manner to go down, at which point it could. And then if it does, and it sells all the way off to -3s, -4s, then we would just start buying it, even though we know it's still in a downtrend, because it's just so on sale, you just got to buy it. And then from there, we'd hope that the on-sale price or low risk, high probability risk to reward area that we were buying is so good that the market will then end up doing a reversal bounce that then turns into an uptrend, right? So that's like a lot of people don't understand too, is that reversal trades or reversal V's in the market happen in bearish markets, or same thing with the top, right? Like a reversal top, right? Reversals are that. They're reversing the trend and usually mark the bottom, right? But the bottoms are not created from uptrends, like, you know what I mean? So all I'm getting at is if we went to -3, we'd be buying even though the systems would be bearish. And we'd be more in the hopeful of a reversal that then takes the market back to positive, and then the algorithms chug it along. So, yeah. And actually, I could just bring up the SPY here real fast. Look at that. I mean, like, literally, who would have thought the market could go down to that bullseye? You know, that's crazy. Who does that? And then do you guys see why we anchored the 1 minute volume weighted average price to the high? So if you think about it, right? So we said the market could go here. It goes there. Crazy. All right. And then what happens? It bounces and it goes to where? To the VWAP, which we said anchor to the high. And then you can see that's where you create your first lower high attempt to go down. All right. And then it bounces again and goes right back there. So this is currently the 1 minute volume trend for the day. So anyone that's been long, anyone that's been short, we're at the key volume weighted average price of that move since this high point. So, you know, that's just that. And then it just kind of comes down to how people in psychology would work around the volume weighted average price, right? So if you were chasing the short down, we squeeze you back to your VWAP, you stop out, right? Or if you tried to buy a bounce, you buy into the bounce right when you hit the VWAP, and we take you back down, stop you out, etc. So a lot of little cool things going on there with the price action today. Yeah, figures. So those are some shorts getting squeezed out there on the market, if you will. As we come up through that 1 minute volume weighted average price area, obviously shorts are starting to get kind of taken out. All right, let's take a look at this here. All right, so again, our best case scenario long for the day will be up to the 50 SMA. So again, if the market wants to, I mean, you know, it kind of sounds silly saying it, but again, yeah, if the market wants to, yeah, so, yeah, what was I just saying? Yeah, if the market wants to, you know, our best case scenario is, best case scenario long right now is up to the 50 SMA. So I won't look higher than that for the day. That's going to be our long target. I mean, it always was and always is, right? Remember that. 50 SMA is always the long target in a bear market, right? To a degree. There's other stuff too, but But yeah, that will be our long destination up. Because we just know, just in general, right? If the market wants to go back to positive, it has to go above that line, right? So this is a good example of what we were talking about, that right now this is a market that is bearish and it's going through a V or a reversal long trade. Whether or not the reversal trade or long move can get over the 50 SMA determines if the market actually flips to bullish. This is still just a bearish oversold V reversal bounce, right? That may become a bullish market. We don't truly, know. So, but yeah, so it's that. And I do want to bring up this here. So you can't, yeah, it doesn't look as good now, but yeah. So it's changed since then, but if you look at this last dip here that I'm highlighting, so that, well, you can't really see that, but I guess you can now, so I'll zoom in there, or maybe not, yeah. So anyways, this last dip in the market, or correction, if you will, this one, that one got down to -3, -4. Time's gone on, so the standard deviation has adjusted, and now you will see that it only looks like it went down to -2, but the reality is this went down to -3, -4, and it marked the exact bottom. So anyways, that's what we'd be looking for next time around. We'll see if we get it. Again, guys, just remember long target up is going to be the 50 SMA just in general. Let's see if we hit the SPX here. We haven't quite hit it. Let's double check with Thinkorswim, because Thinkorswim levels are a little bit more correct if you ask me. So we haven't hit the 50 SMA on TradingView, but let's double check Thinkorswim. That's the wrong chart. If we look at Thinkorswim, we have not hit it. So there's still room for the markets to go up. Just in general, we have not hit the levels on either SPY or SPX on either TradingView or Thinkorswim. So still in theory means there's a little room for that market to go up to those said levels. Arguably, we've already gotten really close. We hit a high of 68685. The SMA is 68727, so 68784. That's 16 cents, and 20s 30 is 41 cents, right? So we'd have, I think, right, 30, yep, 41 more cents to go up from the previous high to get the true algorithm tag on the SPY. Oh, Schnikes, what are they doing? Should log in. Bro, what? I'm so confused sometimes about this. Don't know. Don't know. I just don't know, guys. I can adjust that one later. Whoa. Okay, okay. Do 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 do. Psh, psh. Da, 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 da. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Whatever I just said, I don't really remember. Good morning.
So yeah, that's pretty much that.
What was I doing? That's that. So again, yeah, just pretty straightforward. Market's been bearish since a couple days ago, as we mentioned. We're in a neutral to bearish state until the market's over 50 SMA. We're not going to see a trend positive market. Pretty straightforward. Not really a whole lot to say.
We're not going to see a trend positive market. Pretty straightforward. Not really a whole lot to say.
I mean, yeah, we've covered gold and silver. Echoes. Echoes? Oh, you know what? I see why. That's why. I don't know why I was doing that, but got it. Probably fixed it there. Which is weird because it shouldn't be echoing anything with my volume off. That's weird. Anyways. Yeah, so like we said, maximum long target for the day up, 50 SMA. Once above, market makers may change the structure of the market to an actual long. So best just to categorize everything we've seen overnight and into this morning as kind of an oversold, bouncing, reversal, trading environment that has not yet actually flipped markets to trend positive. But when that happens, you guys will know because the system will say so. And then the market will transition into a long. And then all the news organizations will follow the tune. Which I haven't really looked at the news lately, but I have to assume that obviously it's been mainly bearish. Well, we might see some stuff about, I don't know, something positive today because obviously market's gone up overnight. So, you know, you'll probably see news organizations talking about gains being put on. S&P 500 kicks off 2026 as tech shares pick up where they left off in 2025. Stock market today, Dow turns lower. Tesla slashes gains. Stock market today, Dow opens higher. You gotta love having two articles back to back, one from Investor Business Daily and one from the Wall Street Journal. Stock market today, Dow turns lower. Next article down, stock market today. Dow opens higher. No kidding. Like, wow. You know, if my life depended on the certainty of what the news organization said, I'd be dead a long time ago. I mean, really, how can one write an article that says Dow turns low? Literally, same exact words, both of them. I mean, I'll show you. I mean, how? Stock market today, Dow turns lower. Go down one article to the Wall Street idiots. Stock market today, Dow opens higher. Well, I really appreciate the help. I am more confused than I've ever been. So thank you, Google, and thank you, the Wall Street Journal and Investor Business Daily. You guys are doing a great public service. I really appreciate that. Always fun to see that. So we should go up here and, like I said, get the 50 SMA long target in probably just a second or two. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, just got to get above it and actually start cooking the market back up. Like we said, we had a nice Santa rally. You know, that was fun. Now we've done a little dippy. Now we got to get back to trend positive. Hopefully keep pumping the markets into 2026. That would be cool. Again, gold and silver, been selling gold and silver. As gold and silver goes up, we've hit +2 standard deviation area. Not that that's supposed to be a top, just tells us that the gold and silver markets are getting a little overbought, a little euphoric. In fact, that the kids on Wall Street Bets and Reddits and, you know, other YouTube streams are now talking about it's probably a good sign. We've made some headway. So yeah, Bitcoin, again, we're still looking for Bitcoin to go up to about 99,000 to 103,000. It will. I'll just say it's going to, because the likelihood it's not going to is pretty unlikely. So that's where Bitcoin's going to go. We'll just give it some time, and then the news organizations will be cheering it on sooner than later, I would imagine. So yeah. However you want to use that information, feel free. Whether you want to swing trade, you want to buy some, you want to do nothing, you want to watch it. Again, all up to you. Doesn't really affect me much. But yeah, so that's pretty much that. We'll just be looking for Bitcoin to go about 100K, 104,000. Don't really know how long that's going to take though, but it's going to happen. Again, all the penny stocks today were just straight garbage. Again, there's just not anything really cool there for the day. I've done it. I've looked. There's nothing. Again, we still got a little room for SPX and SPY to get up to those levels we talked about. But if you look at Thinkorswim and you compare the SMA calculations between the two platforms, long story short, you're going to come to see that we're almost at the 50 SMA price for SPY on Thinkorswim, which, if you ask me, is a little bit more accurate of SMA calculations than TradingView. So pretty much we've already hit the target. Not truly. We're off by just a bit, but we're so close. You know, you could just basically say we've pretty much gotten the target, but it would be nice to see the true algorithm test of the level. Yeah, figures. What time is it? 10:03. Speaking of 10:03, where are the installers to do the carpet? Gotta love it. Gotta love that. 551 I just don't understand. Alright, I gotta make a phone call, unfortunately. I'll be back. What's up, Semper? Happy New Year to you, brother. Well, that's fun. Oh, we're supposed to have carpet installed, and it looks like everyone screwed everything up and somehow has it all wrong. And yeah, well, what else do you expect in 2026 from people? So, anyways, as we've mentioned here about 1,000 times, the market is still in a neutral to bearish state, obviously because it's below the 50 SMA. So until we get over that level, the market isn't truly bullish. It's just a oversold bounce in the market, and the market makers have not truly turned the structure of the market to positive. So just keep that in mind. But like we said, we'll be here on the day the market turns positive and it makes sense to go back to swing long the market. We will do so. So yeah, you just gotta wait till the system tells you to do so. It's pretty simple. It's basically the easiest thing known to man, if you ask me. We can zoom out; it'll become pretty clear, right? You can delete some of this stuff, right? So obviously, when the market is positive, we go over. When market turns to neutral bearish, we go under, and voila, below bearish, above positive, below bearish, right? So we just gotta wait a little bit, let the market do its thing, and then we'll go back and add some swing long, grab some 3x leveraged ETFs. One sec. Alrighty, sorry about that. Yeah, we're supposed to have some carpet installed today, but apparently we're not going to have carpet installed today because the carpet we ordered is on back order and it's not going to be available for 2 weeks. And I guess just no one thought it would be a good idea to call me and let me know that that was going to happen. So, yeah, I guess everyone's just kind of still figuring out how to do the whole adulting thing these days. What are you going to do? You know, you got to share the planet with people. You know, not like, you know, it's not like you can just have the best of the best walking around helping you out all the time, I guess. So that blows. Yeah, I was really looking forward to that today. What a wrench in the week. That totally jacks pretty much everything I had planned set up. God, you know, that's a frustrating moment. I can feel the emotions are boiling inside of me right now. It's just one of those moments where you're like, I wish I could just do everything myself, because then it just always gets done. But nope, that's not how it works. So in the meantime, we get to watch the market go down, all of our 401ks go down, and Connor not get his carpet installed today. What a great day, you know, guys. This is fantastic. So. But I mean, I feel like I'm worthy of a refund at this point, right? Because like, but I'm usually never that guy. But I mean, honestly, like in a legit world, like yeah, I mean, honestly, at this point, I should get like at least a free lollipop or something, like a discount, right? Like send me like a Panera gift card at least, you know. So, no, not more time with you. Actually, I got to run to another property. We're showing a property to a tenant today, so that's at 12. So regular time, about 11. I'll be jamming out of here. Again, there's really not, you know, it's funny because at the end of the day, there's not a whole lot to say. I mean, literally, we can, you know, the market's bearish. We're in a neutral to bearish state. You know, it's funny. I wonder if some of the news articles changed yet. See, like this is a good one, right? So like investing.com, they have no idea the market is in a neutral to bearish state, but here they come 21 minutes ago. U.S. stocks jump as markets kick off new year. NASDAQ leads gains. All right. But, oh dear Lord, please not be a realtor. Please. 1 second. All right, there we are. Another realtor. Gotta love them. Gotta love them. Yeah, what was I about to say? Oh, yeah. So, like, right now, I mean, like, you have investing.com 21 minutes ago telling you guys the markets are jumping, NASDAQ is leading gains, but then you look and you're like, oh, actually, the market's getting absolutely destroyed. So, if I was just some young soul getting started in the stock market, I might go to the internet for answers and then find investing.com saying, oh, like markets are up, strong year, big gains, buy, and then you get absolutely cooked, just absolutely destroyed, you know. And that's because, again, the people that write articles have basically zero clue what's actually going on. The market is in a neutral to bearish state. Though the market may have jumped up this morning, and it was up, it still did not change the structure of the market to positive. All right. So investing.com just basically slaughtered a bunch of readers there. Wall Street Journal, stock market today, 47 minutes ago. Dow opens higher, global chip stocks rally. Like, they just basically murdered a bunch of people today. Santa joins rally in nick of time. Tesla something. Stocks look up to start. Look at the street. Let's read from the street. Stock market today, January 2nd. Stocks look up to start 2026. Brother, I don't think stocks are looking up to start 2026. I think we were just doing an oversold bounce into resistance, getting absolutely cooked. I mean, honestly, these people should come work for me. I could pay them $0 because that's so far what they deserve for writing these articles. No, I'm kidding, but kind of. S&P 500 rises to kick off 2026 as tech shares pick up where they left off in 2025. Is that so? So far, markets are getting absolutely roasted. And who would have thought? I mean, honestly, who would have thought that the market was in a bearish trend? Nobody. Nobody saw that one coming. Absolutely no one. So, anyways, let's look at this slide. Damn, that's a big old slide with no retraces. There's probably a few GPs in there. There's one. There's maybe two. That's maybe three. That may 4, 5. Let's check the 5, man. There is 1. That would be 2. Gotcha. 10 min. Oh, that's right. Stupid. 15 min. 1. Maybe 1. 30 min. That'd be 1. Same with the 1. Yeah, that would make sense. All right, cool. Take this bad boy like a that. Whoa, I want to do that. Or wait, what am I doing? Alrighty, so pretty much for the time being, this is going to be the first counter retrace level. That's pretty much where you could expect markets will go to when they're ready to actually kind of do their 1-minute bounces and stuff like that. Alrighty, so yeah. So that's that. I'm just kind of still cooling down about my whole carpet thing because, yeah, that kind of just basically screws a lot of things up. Yeah, the carpet was going in our new house and we're going to move our stuff up into our bedrooms and finally kind of get in there, but now my entire house is going to be tore up for at least another 2 weeks, which is fine. I mean, you know, I gotta sleep in my Fiat 500 in the middle of January. What could go wrong? Nothing. You might lose like a hand or two, but who needs those? You know? Nah, I'll be just fine. But it's like, dang it. Everything was going so according to plan until we got hit with the... Actually, your carpet's on back order for 2 weeks. And we're not going to call you and let you know at all. We're just going to wait until the installation date, never show up, then you get no carpet, leave you confused, then have you call in, and then be like, oh, by the way, you're getting screwed, bud. Yeah, you know, that's cool. I like that. It's always good. That's fun. Appreciate it. Next time, just give me just a little bit of lotion on the side. Make it go over a little easier. Alrighty. I can certainly feel the YouTube algo is shifting. Just kidding. That thing will not move a needle. But yeah, so same story as always, guys. Market's neutral to bearish. Throw some VWAPs to the downside. Market will counter retrace into those guys. You got a couple no GPs above, etc. Again, you know, it's really, you know, at the end of the day, the market really just basically repeats the same thing over and over and over and over and over. So, yeah. There is one other thing I'm not really thinking about that might be taking place right now. I wonder if we're on the lower distribution yet. Let's see. We are. That would be... Wait, did I do something wrong? It just doesn't seem right. Is that anchored to the high? I think it is. Yeah, like that can't be right. There we go. No, we're not. So that would suggest down to there. All right, here we go. Counter retrace, 2 VWAPs. There we go. It's happening. Oh my goodness, everybody. No way. Wednesday close? Man, oh man. Is the Russell 2000 down? It's gotta be. With the way penny stocks are moving, this thing's gotta be in a sell move. There's just no way. Yep, figures. Yeah, figured that was the case. So, like, here's another thing, too. Like today I woke up and, like, yeah, there's literally, like, all penny stocks are just garbage today. There's nothing we should even really try on, basically. But that's pretty much it. All right, Russell 2000s in a sell signal. Small caps are going down, so they don't really have that long bias momentum right now. So you basically got to wait for the Russell 2000 market to go back into a buy signal, and then they'll start pumping penny stocks again. So just kind of in that situation. We're just kind of in the neutral to bearish state. Nothing really, not a whole lot to say there. It's just kind of is what it is. We still want to see Bitcoin go up to like that $103,000 mark. Again, that's going to happen sooner than later, in my opinion. Wee! Market going up. Yay! Woohoo! Again, next target up is going to be to where this box is going to, unless they kind of top it on this breakdown spot, which would be a little unusual, but... Oh, there's so many stupid lower distribution guys. We don't want those. Ugh. Get out of there. Ah, fuck it. I don't even care. Let's get out of here. Get out of my screen. Yeah, so right about there. So again, market's bouncing, doing its thing. Yay, yay. God bless you, brother. God bless you. And your family. And your health. And your finances. And all of the aboves. Come on, Spy. Just go up a little tizzy. Just scoot on up there, brother. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba, I'm loving it. Yay! The market bounced to where we said it could go to. Yay! Yay! Wahoo! Yippee! Woohoo-ah-ho! Alright, now we're going to take a VWAP. We're going to add it to the low. And now we're going to look for the market to pull back and set up a higher low, maybe, on that VWAP. And this zone's a little goofy, but that becomes our pullback target now on the downside. That didn't hit. Nope. Obviously not. So far, not a ton of resistance being found on top-down volume weighted average prices, but we'll see if we gonna get it. Oh my lord, come on, candles, would you move? Getting bored sitting here waiting for this to pull back. Oh my goodness, it's pulling back. No way. Holy cow. Who would have thought? I thought the next candle was going to be yellow, but it's red. What? I thought we were going to get a rainbow candle or something. Alright, pullback target T1 would be achieved there. Job well done, ladies and gentlemen. You, right there, you just correctly predicted the world's largest globally traded ETF again. But you're not supposed to be able to do that. Remember, guys, that's because of bull flags. Remember, it's all because the bull flag in there. That's why we knew that one. Yeah, well, anyways, probably going to end it there. I got to go meet a tenant, show a property. So, yeah. Anyways, so I think we've done a pretty decent job today. I'd say we kept everyone on the right side of the market. We also gave the long target as the 50 SMA, also the initial short. I mean, we did pretty good. I would say, as far as guiding everyone on the right direction today, we did pretty good. Our first initial recommendation was essentially you're going to watch the market short down to that low. And then once it started to bounce, you were basically going to be looking to take it up to about that high. At which point the market never got over the 50 SMA. So the market is still bearish. Market rolls down, goes bearish. Then once it goes down enough, we basically say market is going to come back to these VWAPs. It does that. And then we predict that little pullback in there. So that's pretty good. It's a pretty good job predicting the world's largest. You get the point. Anyways, so yeah, probably going to be back. What's today? Friday? Yeah. So I'll be back on maybe Monday. Maybe not. What's the date? Yeah, I would say I'm moving to a new house, and yeah, this internet, these carpet people are really screwing everything up. Because I was supposed to have my new office set up in my new house basically this weekend, but now that's not going to happen, and I got to move out of this place, so I'm going to have to take my office setup down, and there'll Yeah, I don't know, because I'm like, I don't even know if I'm gonna set up I don't even know if I'm gonna set up my office and everything at my new house until I get carpet down. That would be a pain. So I don't know. I don't know what I'm gonna do. I don't know. Maybe I'll work off a laptop somewhere. Might have to go to a parent's house, father-in-law's house, work in their office or something for a couple weeks. I don't know. So yeah, basically just don't expect consistency from me out of the next couple weeks as I'm moving around here. But as I get done moving and kind of get settled in our new spot, obviously we'll be back some streaming or something like that. Open a Somali learning center. Yeah, so, but that's what I mean. It's like, I don't want to, I mean, like this setup I have, I mean, there's a lot of computer screens, and then you basically be setting it up on a subfloor, and then they have to come install carpet, and either they're going to have to move it or I'm going to have to move it, and I don't want them moving this setup and my computers and stuff, and just makes it a hassle. So yeah, it's basically, if everyone would have, arguably done their job correctly, we wouldn't have been here. But hey, someone had to screw up along the way. So yeah, I'm not sure exactly what the streaming is going to look like basically the next 2 weeks as I'm kind of bouncing around properties. But I'll try to be online as much as I can be. But with that being said, you guys take care. Make sure you distance yourself 6 feet apart. And, yeah, keep rocking. When the system says to go back long, you will be long, we will be long, I will be long. And it'll be good. Cheers. Have a great weekend.